The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting edition of US Cutter's VinylMaster webinar series. I'm Josh. I'll be hosting this webinar. So with this webinar, we're going to be focusing on, explaining the new payment system that VinylMaster offers to us now. We've got some new subscription services, as well as monthly payments that you can do to make the VinylMaster acquisition much easier and more affordable, better than ever. And now, rather than, what you would used to have to do and, go through our website, place the order for the VinylMaster, and then wait possibly 2 hours to maybe even the next day if it's after hours, before you can receive your software. Well, now it's an instant delivery. So even if you're wanting to upgrade or just purchase it right out of the get-go, you don't have to wait on us. It's an instant delivery. It's given to you instantaneously, so you don't have to worry about CDs, anything like that. And at the very end of this webinar, we're going to have a coupon that'll give you 50% off, if you're looking to purchase or upgrade. More than happy to show that to you at the end of this. Now, we're not going to be taking a deep dive into the VinylMaster Cut because we already have videos on that on our YouTube page, and you can just go to uscutter.com, youtube.com, and then just do a search for US Cutter. We'll come right up, and then if you go down to our uploads, you'll see that we've got one here from October 2018. It goes into very, very heavy details of how to use the VinylMaster Cut, also the contour cutting feature, and just your basics of getting started with that program. And so if you need to see it, it's there. It's got a lot of information, and you can skip around, so you don't have to watch the entire thing. But that's where you need to go if you're interested in seeing about VinylMaster Cut. So let me get this out of the way. So the very first thing, I mentioned before that we have a new portal, and I'm going to show you this portal. So this can be found through our website, just, by going to purchase VinylMaster. I'll show you that. But before we do this, I'm going to set out one little poll to everybody. Just a quick question, just to see, what type of cutter you're using. And just continue. And so just launch that, and and that's just for everybody, just so we can get a general idea of what everybody's cutting with, and maybe I can put some more focus on those. But just like we thought, we sell more MHs than anything else, and it looks like those are going to be the higher percentage of what cutters that are owned. And it's very nice to see that we've got some of the other brands that are not mentioned here. And VinylMaster does now. Oh, let me just go ahead and clarify. So if you're getting the US Cutter version of VinylMaster, it's only going to work with the machines that we sell here at US Cutter or have previously sold within the last 3 years. So now let's go ahead, and I've got one final, and we're going to looking to see what type of VinylMaster that you're interested in. That way I can spend a little bit more time on it, and maybe try to give you the best results that you can have out of it. All right. So yeah, a lot of people interested in VinylMaster Cut. So yeah, please do check out that link down below. But do stay for the webinar, because we're going to show you all of the features that we have with the other versions. And remember that right now we are going to be offering a coupon to where you can make the purchase of VinylMaster Cut, any version, for 50% off, or upgrade it to whatever version you want for 50% off. All right. So that one. And so, all right. Well, thank you very much. Let's go ahead and get started. So, as I meant, oh, I'm sorry. I have one more. My apologies. And what type of user are you? This is the final one. I promise you. No more polls after this. So, and Ooh, small business is the winner. All right. All right. So thank everybody for voting that. I'll go ahead and close that. And let's just go ahead and get started on the webinar. All right. So here we are. This is the landing page for if you're going to the new VinylMaster portal. You're going to find that through our US Cutter webpage just by doing a search for VinylMaster. I'll show you that in just a minute. But here at the portal, you've got some options. You can see right here, I have a selection option if I wanted to purchase it outright. And if I hit this menu, I can purchase new and pay over time. Purchase and upgrade outright. That means if I already have another version of VinylMaster, I can use this to upgrade it. And then purchase and upgrade and pay over time. So if you don't want to make the full payment right then, you can pay over time. Beautiful thing about this is that if you actually stop making the payments, and you let them know, and you want to just maybe start making the payments again a few months later. I believe it's 3 months is the maximum length you can wait, but they will still keep track of your original payment so that you can keep making the payments towards full ownership of that product. So that's a very, very nice thing that they have there. And also we have a subscription option now. That way, maybe you don't want to drop $500 for a piece of software that you might not be using all the time. So you can subscribe to it on a monthly basis. You might not be using your cutter all the time. So this is a nice option for that. And say, for example, if we purchase new outright, I'll take you to the next page. And it has expired due to inactivity because I've had it sitting up here for so long. So let me just refresh step 1. Purchase new outright. There. Now you can see we've got our pricing. VinylMaster Cut, Letter, Pro, DSR. If we want to do the full pricing, you can see some of the payment options that we have. When you get to the more expensive ones, not the VinylMaster Cut, that's where you're going to see that you have subscriptions and by installments. The only one that they don't have that for is the Cut because it's the cheapest and starter package. But you'll see here DSR, all of them all have that same one. And then if wanted, I like to have physical hard copies of my disc, and so you can do that. You can also have those by just clicking this. It's a little bit more, $17.90, but they will mail you physical disc directly from VinylMaster that you can have. So that's pretty much the portal. So we'll get that out of the way. And so let's start talking a little bit about VinylMaster. So VinylMaster Cut is the basic edition that we include with all of our cutters for no additional cost. You can also purchase it individually from our website, just like you saw. And the US Cutter version is going to have the vectorization feature with the VinylMaster Cut. And that's only going to be found in the US Cutter edition. Because if you're doing the other edition, you're not going to be able to get that feature until VinylMaster Pro. So very important and a very nice feature to have with any US Cutter cutter, because if you're not an artist like me and you want to take something off the internet and then make it cuttable, you can do it within a few seconds with the vectorization tool. So one of the biggest reasons that people usually want to upgrade to the next level, which is the VinylMaster LTR, is the arc text. So you can kind of see I've got the arc right here. But let's just move over here to this page where I've got some text tools already done here. And got a couple things about the VinylMaster Letter, just so you can remember which one I'm working with right now around the side. So they've got a couple things here. We've got text on path, and it's pretty easy to do that, and it's really easy to move. So let me just give you an example of how you would do the text on path. I'll start over here with my freehand tool and start the drawing. Then I'm going to take my text, and then I'm just going to, let's do some vertical text. Put, Josh is the worst artist. All right, and then we'll select both the line, the text, and then go over here and select fit to path. And then we have, it is on the line. Now, we need to adjust it and make sure that it's legible, or we want to customize it, maybe move it around. You can see how you have the little nodes down here. This one's going to be just a tiny little square, and that's what's going to allow me to move it up and down the path. I can flip it upside down on the other side, like so, by moving it to the top or the bottom. And you can just position it wherever you want on the line. So that's just really neat about the text to path. So we've got some other demonstrations over here, and you can see this demonstration, it is pretty much seamless. It's going around the entire thing. And so if I just move it, notice it, it just moves perfectly around the line. So, I mean, really neat feature that you're going to find, that you're only going to have available when you upgrade to the LTR or above. And that's the text on a path. The next feature is going to be the arc text, and that can be found over here. And I mean, you can see some examples of it right here, but the way that it works is click, it's already built a circle for you, type in your stuff, and then adjust it. They do have on this bottom, you've got some text tools that you can use to adjust it, but if you go over here to your side menu, this is where you're going to have some more, and select text tools. And then this is where you can go and edit a lot of different things with it, like say your skew, width, and then change your tracking. If you just want it to be on the center, if you want it to go left, whatever, you can do that here, and just adjust your text and play with it. Another wonderful feature about the VinylMaster LTR is that it does come with a lot of extra fonts. It comes with so many fonts, 5,200 fonts. And so if you were to use an individual font, like say one font per day, that would be enough fonts for 14 years. And you might be thinking, oh, well, maybe I can get my fonts for free from like, DaFont or whatnot. And you can, but at the same time, that might have a virus, or you might be getting an incomplete font that may only have lowercase, or when you go try to type something uppercase, it might be just a blank square. So it's not a full font. All of these are full fonts, and you have the right for a commercial license. That means that you can take these fonts and create something and sell it. And you don't have to worry about any legal repercussions. Now, you can't sell the fonts to someone to use, just like, you can't, just give away this program, for free and say it's yours. But you can use those fonts, create designs, and sell those however you want. You do have that license to create commercial stuff and sell it with the fonts. Now, say if you have your font and then you vectorize it and then move it, well, then you have completely changed it, and that's all yours to create and sell however you want. Now I just want to play a quick video just showing you guys how many fonts are included. It's just going to go through all of them real fast. Very, 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 very large amounts, and that amount actually doubles with the more upgrading you do. But let me just open this up so you guys can see this real quick. And make sure that this is right. There. So we had one of our marketing department go through, and bless his heart, because he's actually scrolled through and took an individual shot with each one of these. And man, the patience to go through this many fonts, take all these pictures and everything, hats off to him. He is a saint. But I mean, 5,200 fonts. That's 14 years of fonts. Again, you don't have to worry about viruses, anything like that. And these come for free with the VinylMaster LTR upgrade. So that is a lot of fonts. And, the only thing is that you do have to go through and install them. So, you're not going to want to install every single one of them because that can, installing that many fonts can kind of slow down your computer. But you have 5,200 that you can choose from. You don't have to go look for online or worry about downloading a virus or anything. And these things are very, very easy to find. is when you install it, it's also going to be in that same VinylMaster directory as the rest of your VinylMaster files. So great little free feature. You can see it's still going and going. I mean, there's just so much there. Maybe, as a punishment, we'll challenge him to do one for the VinylMaster Pro where it's got 10,500 fonts. But I guess that'd just be mean. So, moving on from that. So, let me see here. So, one of the cool things about it is, like I said, it comes with a lot of the fonts, and they come installed. And so, say you would have your future, this PC, Windows, Program Files, Future Corp, extras. You've got all the extra fonts, and they're all organized into separate, I can't even think of the word right now, having a brain fart. They're all split up into different identifying, I can't think of the word, but they're all split up and organized for you nicely. So you can see you've got some fancy, and then if you wanted to, view them, just make sure you go to extra large icons, and then you can see what the font is. And then to install it, you just double click. See how we've got uppercase, all of that, and then just hit install. Well, let's see one that may have a lowercase too. See, uppercase, lowercase. So you have a full set with each one of these. So it's just really nice and free. All right. Another great thing that you will have with the VinylMaster letter that it gives you on top of Cut, you're going to get some more of these outline features that come with your outline modules. And your outline module can be found in your plugins. And then also right here, down here. So you're going to get a lot more effects than you would with the VinylMaster Cut. And so that's just one of the other things. And then the next thing that you get with it is additional clip art. It's not very much clip art, but it's enough to get you a little bit, I guess it's enough to get you started. But my favorite thing is to go online and then just vectorize. And to vectorize, remember, you just click your item and then hit the vectorize button. Please go check out our video at VinylMaster Cut for more details on vectorization, contour cutting, and everything. We did a very in-depth video that covers that. And if you have some more questions about that, I really advise you please check that out, or shoot me an email at sales@uscutter.com and just say, "Attention, Josh, tell me more about VinylMaster Cut," and I'll be more than happy to get into that for you. So now that pretty much covers VinylMaster LTR. I mean, basics of it is, you're going to get those extra text features. You're going to get all of the fonts. And then you've got a few extra features, like, say, some of the outline tools. And then also the outline tools. And then also, again, some of the outline. I already did it. Oh, yeah, sorry. And you get some more power shapes. Almost forgot. Power shapes like squares and circles, stars and arrows. Rather than just having two that you wouldn't cut. So, moving on. And I have another person here answering questions. So if you have any questions, feel free to type them in. And then if he can't answer them, then we'll go through and answer what we can after we wrap up here. So now let's move over to the machine that's running the VinylMaster Pro. And that is these. And make me presenter. Show my screen. All right. Okay, so now we're up and running in VinylMaster Pro. Let me just hide my screen. VinylMaster Pro is basically where we get into where it's going to be a sign maker's best friend. Basically, it's going to become the same thing as Flexi Cut. You're going to have a lot more options for sign tools. What I mean by that is you're going to have additional clip art included with it. So you can already tell we've got much more than what we had with the VinylMaster LTR or Cut. We are going to have more basic shapes and power shapes to work with. So we've got your two power shapes there. more power shapes and basic shapes down here below. And then when you get over here, this is where you're going to start to really get into some of the extra bonuses like the corporate logos and road art signs. Those are included with the VinylMaster Pro additional features. And so that can be some stuff that can really save you some time. Right. Yeah. And then now we're going to start getting into some more of the warping features with the VinylMaster Pro. Now, before with the cut and the I'm sorry, not DSR, but with the cut and the LTR, you've had some options here with the warping, but with the VinylMaster Pro, this is where it gives you your second row of it so that you can start doing some fancy tricks with something. I've only got a black square right here just so I can give you just a general idea of how it works. And let me just say over here you can bend it, squeeze it, just move it around however you want. But they have a lot more of these with the VinylMaster Pro. And this is also where you can start working with gradients. Why are we going to work with gradients when we're going to be dealing with vinyl? Because you might start getting into some, printing, dealing with like wide format printers or contour cutting. And I do a lot of printing with VinylMaster for other things like custom t-shirts, for using like say a laser printer or even an inkjet printer, because you can perform the contour cut around your image and then apply it to a t-shirt. And for some people just getting into the business or just wanting to make some t-shirts at a low cost, that's the best option to start. So VinylMaster is very, very good for printing, and that's why we have a lot of those gradient features. I'm going to get more into that in a little bit when we get to the DSR version, because the DSR version basically gives you 70% of what Illustrator and Photoshop can do with VinylMaster. So next, one of the nicer things about the VinylMaster Pro is that you get to start doing some tiling. And what do I mean by tiling? Well, say if we have, like, say, a smaller 15-inch cutter, and we're been requested to do a job that is much, much, much larger than 15 inches, like, say, this little guy here. And, well, what this VinylMaster Pro can do is tiling. In other words, we're going to break it down into multiple cuts so that we can actually do this with our smaller machine. And the way that you do that is just by selecting the object you want to cut, send it to your cutter, and then right up here in the top, you see how we've got a tiling and paneling option here. Click that, select automatic tiling, because I like to keep it nice and easy. Maximum cutting width would be 15 inches. We're going to cut it down 13 inches in width just to be safe. Change your, what if we were just going to do 13 by 13 squares? All right. Now, next, we can then adjust our tile length. Slowly but surely. But now you get the general idea of what I'm doing. I'm tiling it, making it smaller so that we can cut it inside our smaller cutter. And you might be wondering, well, why do you see these multiple lines here? I'm doing a technique called overlapping, and that's adjusted right here, that will allow me to hide the seams of the tiling by just having the vinyl go over it a little bit. So that's what that's for. And you can adjust the overlapping right here. So you can make it smaller, larger, but that's only going to be unlocked once you get to the Pro version and then above. So very important, useful feature that is used by a lot of professional sign makers. HTV, tiling in HTV, no, I wouldn't recommend it. Because you notice how sometimes in some HTV, if you cut it and you forget to weed it, you can still see the lines where you cut it. I've done that on some eyeballs and stuff like that before. So, do make sure that you don't tile when you're doing HTV. Just go big and go for the layer, do some layering. So over here. So another great thing about the Pro is you get a lot more functionality with the other types of files. Of course, already in cut and letter, you can do Adobe Illustrator, EPS, PDF, and .svg files. Well, in Pro, not only can you import them, but you can also export them. So, if we have something and we wanted to change it around, like say, for example, I do a lot of printing with the Ghost printer out of VinylMaster. Well, sometimes I can't take an SVG file and put, my contour cut around it to draw my white underfilling layer. So I have to take the SVG, convert it to a PNG file, and then prepare it to print with the Ghost toner printer. But VinylMaster is a great program for printing. Again, I also mentioned that we have 10,500 fonts included with this one. And one other thing I forgot to mention, with that, because you have so many fonts with this Pro version, they give you a free piece of software called the Font Manager that allows you to switch in and out your fonts. And because you remember when I said before, if you have so many of them loaded up, that'll slow down your computer. So this will actually let you switch them out, uninstall and reinstall them really fast and easy. I don't have any fonts loaded in right here because this isn't a usual demo computer. So onward now, and yeah, I mean, clip art fonts and then all of the logos that come with it and the extra. If you were to do one font per day, you'd have 28 years of fonts. Wow, that's just a lot. All right, so now that pretty much covers the Pro. Now we're going to get into the DSR, where it comes with a lot more of the image editing features that we've seen, like say in Photoshop, Illustrator, and whatnot. This is where VinylMaster tries to kind of make it an all-inclusive program. I've gotten pretty familiar with it to where, I'm using it about 90% of the time. I don't even have to open, Photoshop or Illustrator that much anymore. Because I've just gotten so used to doing it in DSR. So let's switch over to the DSR computer. All right. So here we are over to the VinylMaster DSR laptop computer. All right. So DSR, like I said, this is where you start to get it to where it starts to look a little bit more like, say, your Photoshop and Illustrator, because you can start doing some edits to bitmap images and JPEGs and PNG files and things like that. And then also you can start adding like crazy effects. So first we'll show a little bit of the effects that they offer. So they've got some 3D shading, whatnot. So at the very beginning, so this is the end of the image. You can see that you can do like 3D things coming out, and then also add some metallic looking, gold metallic looking, I can't even think of the word here. Special effects, shading, shine, and reflective. There we go. And not having to do it in another program and then bringing it over can save you a lot of time and is really handy. So just basic things for printing, a few different effects. They've got chrome effects if you want to do reflective. Let me close them. This is not the fastest laptop in the world. And they have flame effects, and it's you can mess around with it, and it changes whenever you edit. It's live. So pretty neat little effects there. Now they have glowing, and then also reflection. I mean, just common filters that you would find in other image editing softwares. But let's talk about a little bit more about the image editing part of it. So let me just pull this out. Pictures. Let's see. Been a while. So we'll start with this one. This is just a floral PNG file. Oh, that's the wrong one. My apologies. Let me pull up the right flower this time. There, this one. All right. Beautiful art that I designed right off of Ping Tree, as you can see. All right. So if I was going to do this, like say prepare it for a ghost, I would, if I was using any other program, I'd have to go out, like say into Photoshop and edit my image there. But I can do it right here. Select the image, click mask tools, and then I can go and start editing the mask of the image. So maybe I don't want to let people know that I got it off Ping Tree. I can get rid of that. Also get rid of this one here in the middle. And just being able to do this in one program makes it nice and easy. Here, I'll just get rid of that. And so now I've got my image here, edited all in the same program. And then I can take my contour cut. And let's see here. It's got the images detected. Do you wish to include the auto trace contours? I'm going to click yes. Have it trace it. It's automatically going to find the outline of it. And because what I'm going to be doing here is printing the CMYK layer on top, I'm going to apply this here. And what I'm doing is making this outline because that design is going to be sitting on this white background. So this is how it's going to look once it's printed. So this way I don't have to worry about holes or anything. And then when I do, I do have a hole inside of it right there. But, I'm not too concerned. So I've got my contour cut right there. Just copy it, open up another page, Control V, and black. And then there, I'm ready to go. I've got my white underfilling layer ready to go for the ghost toner. And I didn't even have to leave a program because it already has some of the features that you would find in some of the others, image editing tools, things like that. Some of the more features that more things that some of the other features it has is, really when it comes to DSR is, has the ability to work with many different versions of types of Adobe Illustrator EPS files and PDFs that some of the other versions won't work with. And then it's also got a lot of nice presets if you wanted to do some of these for printing, some of these designs for printing. You saw some of the glow, chrome, but they have a lot of these pre-done effects for you. Maybe you don't want to do that. Well, maybe you want to, let's just edit the mask. So we'll go over here to the right side, color fills and pen tools. And, we can do gradients if we wanted to. What kind of gradients? I mean, they've got all kinds. And then we could also, create our own gradient if we wanted to. Just go over here to edit and then make our own, whatever color we want. Spot colors. And then another great thing that you're only going to find in the DSR is going to be this color tool here. This one, color libraries. Say we're going to be cutting a vinyl. Actually, that's in, let me double check just to say, yeah. So that's going to be only in DSR, the color libraries and everything that you can have. And what I mean, color libraries, vinyl colors. We've got 3M, we've got Orcal, we've got some other brands I've never heard of, we've got some of our competitor brands, but all these colors you can find in here, and you can use those and create your designs with that. That way you know what color it's going to be once you're done cutting and applying everything. Just makes it nice and easy, and that's going to be in VinylMaster DSR only. So what other tools does it come with? Well, DSR, you've got the quick loaded FX. It's really made if you're going to be doing a lot of printing. And I tell you, I do a lot of printing for laser transfer out of this. This is what you're going to see me using at trade shows when I travel. It's really just an all-in-one program, and my favorite version of it. So now let's just go through and just see what questions he's got that maybe haven't been answered, that maybe possibly I can help answer. My cutter's arms will not work. Well, then SC2 doesn't have the arms function, so that's why it doesn't work. You can only do manual contour cutting with an SC2. If you want to do arms cutting, then you need to get a laser point 3. The SC only has manual, meaning that you have to line it up with each of the registration marks manually before performing the contour cut. Well, if it's not registering the laser, do you mean it's not coming on or something like that? I would contact our support team. We also, they can actually guide you and get you going through your first contour cut. So contact our support team and ask for Bill, because Bill's good at it. And he can get you contour cutting with it. If it's not working, then sounds like we need to get your machine back and send you one that works and will contour cut. So yes, please do follow up with us. They, the support line, they've gone home. They left at 4, and it's 4:44, so you won't be able to reach them until Monday. But you can send an email to support@uscutter.com, and then I would even put an attention. Hey, Bill, hey, Bill, my contour cutting doesn't work. Josh told me to bother you, and then he'll chew me out on Monday. But we'll get your contour cutting going. How can I duplicate words so that they can be side by side? You just grab the word and then just Control-C, Control-C, Control-V. If you want to put them side by side, then, use the tools, what's the name of the dang thing. Then you want to use the Align, Space, and Distribute tool right here. And then that's how you can get things to line up perfectly next to each other. And then if you really need to get in the detail, whenever you click on something, it's going to give you its actual position in the X and Y over here. So you can just use that to really, really get it. And that's how I really, really tune in when I'm doing my second print for the I'm doing my second print for the Ghost. Let's see. The MH24 plotter, I believe still using shortcuts a lot. Yeah. So if you're using shortcuts a lot, that's a different brand of software. You can use the VinylMaster Cut software with your shortcuts a lot. What the heck am I talking about? You can use the VinylMaster with your MH and also the shortcuts. But if you're using, like, say, Shortcuts a Lot Pro 3 and you're experiencing some crashing, it may be because you're installing it from that version on the disk. Go to our support page and find the version on our support page. It's going to be the most recent version, and it crashes way less for Shortcuts a Lot Pro 3. Then eventually, if you wanted to, you can upgrade to Shortcuts a Lot Pro 4. But, I'm a VinylMaster guy, even though I learned on Scowl Shortcuts a Lot. Isn't that sad? All right. With getting into class, missed. You are walking through the arc. Could you quickly run through it again? Yeah, sure. Arc text. Let me make sure I have the right mouse. So with the arc text, it's really simple. The arc text is the easier one because all you have to do is just hold down the left click on your mouse button and bring it over here, and you click, and it already builds the arc. And I can just type, Josh is the best at arc. Whatever. Josh is the best at nothing. Let's just be honest. And then you've got your arc. And then when you want to adjust it, you have some text tools up top that you can use. But I find that if I use these text tools over here, I get a better. And then don't forget, you've also got your node tool here that you can use to click a few things and adjust, so forth, as so. Now, the other thing is, it's a little bit more complicated, is the text on a path. And let's say, I don't know. We got that. And then let me just get some normal text. Josh is terrible at drawing things. or spelling, 'cause I'm sure I spelled terrible wrong. So I've got both of these items selected, right? I have my text and then also the line I drew. And then I just hold down my left mouse button on the text and then go over here to the fit the path. And then when you zoom in here, if you want to adjust where it is, you can see we've got this tiny little node here. And then that's going to let you slide it, flip it upside down. And then if you want to be neat, hold down Shift. Oh, wait, I did it wrong. Control. No, I did it wrong. If you want to be neat, don't listen to me because I did that wrong and lied. But that's how you do the. That's how you will do the text to path. You just make sure that you have them combined, and then you push it, and then you can move it around. And again, you can adjust some more stuff over here on the side. Like say if we wanted to change the tracking, make things spread apart a little bit more, you could change your justification. But that's not really going to change anything once I've already done this. So that's that. This you all right. So that's our text and the path on a line. So let's see. Yeah. Buying this stuff, it always like really makes me cry a little inside whenever I see software that's expensive. But then, you think about what you're paying for the subscriptions, from time like my Adobe stuff. I have to pay $30 a month for my Adobe products. So let's see. Does the cutter cut the line also, or just the text? So when you draw the line, so that was just a really skinny line. So if we draw this line, so when I draw this line and I just leave them here, and I would have, say, the text. Let me type something. Josh Bond. All right, and so I'll grab the line. Okay, and now I'll do the fit to path. All right. Only the VinylMaster programs have 50% off. Let's see. I'm sorry, I'm just reading other questions. Let's see. Yeah, so I've got it here. Now if we look at it, and then we go down here to this button here, this is our cut path. And if we look at the cut path, you can see, yeah, it's going to cut that line. So we would have to hide that or just stop it from cutting that. So yeah, as long as you've got that line there, it's going to cut it. The 50% code off is good on VinylMaster products only until January 31st. As for other materials, I don't handle the sales or anything like creating them, so I don't really know what they're going to be doing. I'm going actually to a trade show next week, so that's really in Phoenix. So that's what my life is all about right now. Now, I guess since we're all here, let's go ahead and talk about something vectorized real quick because I got a question. So, vectorization, let me just bring in an image. Maybe. All right. So, here is this lovely unicorn. All right. So I've got it. Let me just vectorize it. Put. This isn't the fastest computer in the world. All right. So let me increase the amount of colors. Turn on my gray. Boy, streaming and doing this is really taking it on my mother or my computer. All right. So I'm happy with these colors. I'm going to hit trace. All right. So as my computer slowly does its thing, and talk about how I live in Seattle now, and you know what I miss the most? Being able to get sweet tea in restaurants. Oh man, really, really miss that. Send all the sweet tea you can to US Cutter, Seattle. Actually, Bojangles. Send me all the Bojangles you can. That's what I want. Everyone mail Bojangles to US Cutter. Attention, Josh. All right. So I've got it. I took my image. I vectorized it. Now it's ready to cut. I could go ahead and cut it now. Oh, why is it in lines? I'm still on the cut path. So I'm just going to push this button in the bottom right-hand corner, and then it goes back to normal. So I've got it right here. Well, what if we wanted to edit this vector and maybe remove some things from it? So what we're going to do there is go to Objects, because now it's just a bunch of multiple things. Let me show you. Look at it. See, it's actually a bunch of different things broken down, but everything is in one piece. So what I'm going to have to do, take it, highlight it, and then I'm going to go Arrange, Ungroup All, because everything's vectorized. And now I can click every single individual piece. Well, what if I wanted to edit it? Keep in mind, I, Josh, am not an artist, but I'm going to try and show you my art skills. So I've clicked this Node Edit tool over here on the left-hand side. And so then you can just go select Edit the nodes. Well, what if you want to delete part? Let's highlight some of them. Just click Delete. They're gone. Now, the only thing is you're going to have to correct your errors or whatever you change and make it pretty. That's your responsibility. And me, as a terrible artist, I'm not going to be the best person to show you how to do this, but that's how you edit and delete some of the nodes on a customized vector, say that you've just vectorized or a graphic you pulled off the internet. So that's how you do that. Let me see what else we have in the questions. No, Josh, I will not be sending you Bojangles. Man, you guys are terrible. No. I'm not. Okay, so there's a question that says, so can you please show how to cut so you can overpay as one? I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. You mean how to add contour cut marks? Like, you know, if I'm doing a contour cut, like for a fully printed image? Okay. I don't have, I didn't, I, you know, we didn't do that. That's going to be in our VinylMaster Cut webinar that we have on YouTube. I don't have a cutter connected to this machine, so I can't demonstrate that right now. That's why I would, you know, suggest go to YouTube, do a search for US Cutter, and then, that's right, there is no other kind of tea. Sweet tea is the only tea. Oh, sorry, I lost my mind. Sweet tea. Yeah, so I don't have a cutter connected to the machine here, so I can't do a contour cut. So let's just say that if you just go to YouTube and then do a search for US Cutter, you'll see the VinylMaster webinar from October, and then I have a live demonstration of me doing it there. You can also see a more detailed version of me doing it if you look at our YouTube video for the Laser Point 3, where I show you how to configure the contour cut. That'll show you how to configure it, start it, you know, when you start up your machine, and then also applying the contour cut through VinylMaster. How to separate the marks on the computer. Yeah. Layering, I mean, that's kind of just what I did right here with the vectorization of this. The only thing is, you know, when you've got multiple colors, once you vectorize it and you go to cut it, we'll just click this button right here, separate by color, and that's where you, oh wait, I have that one item selected. Whoops. So take off your node tool, then go to your selection tool and actually select everything in there. Then you want to go to send the cutter. Then you just click that button, separate by color, and then it brings up all your different colors. I kind of have it massively huge, so let me just shrink it down. That way you can get a better idea. All right. And then we can go through, click each individual color, and you can select it that way. Now, Another cool thing about when you're doing multiple colors like this, you see these buttons here that say the auto weed box. It's going to put a box around everything. But laying these colors down, just by eye, you might not line them up perfectly. So what it has here is these wonderful, beautiful, I can't even find the button, registration marks. And what that does is it puts little crosses in each corner. And then really what you have to do now is just line up the crosses for each layer when you apply it, and then you should have a perfectly, in theory, you should have a perfectly lined up image. Now, as you guys know, I'm more into laser transfer. I'm not the best layerer in the world. And then, yeah, just using those registration marks are what you're going to be using to make sure it's upgraded. All right. So with that, I'm going to be going home. Now, if there's any other questions, shoot them to me at sales@uscutter.com. Also, if you have more questions about vectorization, contour cutting, or anything, check out that that YouTube video that we did for our VinylMaster Cut webinar back in October, a few months ago. That goes very heavy into the details for contour cutting, vectorization, and all of the other things that I didn't cover today. So, all right. No, the registration marks, you wouldn't use those for multi-layers when you're printing, because when you're printing, you're actually printing all that CMYK at once, so you don't have to line it up. So that registration marks are when you're doing, because you can only cut one color of vinyl at a time, so you can only layer one color at a time. So that's what those marks are for, just to make sure that you can line them up for each individual color. Yeah, I don't have a link handy. Best I could say is just go to YouTube and just do a search for US Cutter, and it's like, we only posted it in October, so it'll be like the 4th one there. Let me see. Actually, I had it open earlier, I thought. Oh no, I must have closed it. All right. So, all right. Well, everyone, have a wonderful weekend. I will talk to you soon. Again, if you have more questions, contact me at sales@uscutter.com. Everyone, have a wonderful weekend. Drive safe. Take care now.